Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. So, I have an article here. It's out of Wisconsin. It was done by Stephen Sarasi, Fox News. And here's the thing, right? I'm not going to say it's hypocritical, but I will say this person lacks insight and information. And here's why I'm going to do that. Now, I've been paying a lot of attention to my speech, but understand also now that I'm back around family and I'm around a lot of Texans, the Southern drawl is starting to come back out. I keep trying to check it. So if you notice a change in my speech pattern, that's why. Also, I'm trying to slow down and just kind of take my time with these things. Before, I was looking at the clock, kind of rushing. But what I've noticed after a while of doing these, I'm a rookie in this, just got started really. If it's a good video, people really don't care about the time if you can keep them engaged. So let's get on with this. Armed Wisconsin father, daughter say they're protecting Rittenhouse protesters. Eric Jordan last week said he was outside Kenosha Courthouse to protect speakers after Rittenhouse verdict. Now, what he thought was going to happen, I don't know. The right usually doesn't go out and start fights. It's always the left. Wisconsin father and his teen daughter armed themselves with rifles to protect a large group of demonstrators protesting the acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse in Kenosha on Sunday. Eric Jordan and his 16-year-old daughter, Jade, were photographed marching ahead of the protesters as they carried the firearms. Jordan was also pictured carrying a holstered handgun on his hip, which is always good to have a sidearm. Looks like he has a retention holster there. Looks like she has a nice scope on her AR-15. He's carrying an AR-15. That scope's kind of big. It's more of a hunting scope when you're trying to really reach out long distances. For AR-15, I recommend a 1x4. When you start getting to the 4x32s and stuff like that, they get really, really pricey. You could honestly end up spending, and this is usually the case, it happened to me, spend more on your scope than your AR. So trust me, it happens. Jordan told the New York Post that he and his daughter do security for different groups and were doing a favor for the group of about 75 demonstrators on Sunday. Jordan had previously made an appearance outside the Kenosha Courthouse Friday after jurors found Rittenhouse not guilty on all counts. Quote, "I got a job to do, protect these people, that's it," said Jordan, referring to speakers at a news conference that was held in the hours after the verdict. Quote, "This is my town, my people," Jordan said. "We don't agree on a lot of things, but we fight, we argue, we agree to disagree, and go home safe, alive. That's real self-defense," Jordan added. He's right about that. Rittenhouse was facing the 5 charges after he fatally shot 2 people and injured a 3rd person during the second night of civil unrest in Kenosha on August 25th, 2020. His attorneys argued that the then 17-year-old was acting in self-defense after being attacked from behind when he shot Gage Grosskreutz, 27, as well as deceased Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, and Anthony Huber, 26, during the riots following the police shooting of a 29-year-old Black man, Jacob Blake, which I still attest there shouldn't have been riots. He admitted that he was a pariah on the Black community and vowed to change his ways. So, and give a warning to young kids to not be in the thug life, not be in the drug life, stay away from that stuff. Like I said, much kudos to him. He did some horrible things, but at least, he may never be able to atone for the havoc he reaped on that young lady's life, but at least he did see the errors of his ways and made a change. Jordan told the Post that he supports the Second Amendment and was on the streets of Kenosha protecting a restaurant and 2 parking lots on the night Rittenhouse shot the men. He also said that he's been training his daughter to use firearms since she was 4 years old, but never let her touch a gun until she was 14. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I get what he's saying there. Here's the problem I have. I don't think he sees the gravity of this, because keep in mind, that night, the only racist there or the only person, I don't know who were all racist, but the only person that was yelling racial insults at people, at Black people, was Joseph Rosenbaum. So now you can easily replace Kyle Rittenhouse with Jade, because this dude liked targeting kids. And as you can see, obviously, he had a death wish. And I say that because there are reports, and I'm not sure, that he was actually in the psych hospital for a suicide attempt, and was heard that night saying, "Go ahead, shoot me, niggers, shoot me." So he apparently wanted to die. So if he had ran across these two armed Black people protecting a restaurant and two parking lots, which I doubt they own, it sounds like him and his daughter are trying to start a security company, which, hey, big kudos, I get your hands up for. Everybody that can should own their own business. And I understand how security works. But the reason I understand is me and three of my buddies were going to start a security company in Washington State, just never happened. I decided to leave and didn't want to have anything to do with Washington State anymore. But I don't think he's looking. I like the statement he made. He kind of stayed neutral, didn't really. But if him and his daughter had run across Joseph Rosenbaum, and Rosenbaum was calling him and his daughter nigger. See, it's one thing, you can hold your cool. Somebody's in my face and I'm armed and you're calling me a nigger, 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 right? Then you stand a half a chance of getting out there alive. Unless you put your hands on me, then you've just nullified those chances. However, imagine what this armed father would have done had Rosenbaum called his daughter a nigger, attacked her, chased her, and then tried to grab her gun. You see, she didn't have a sidearms. That's her only means of defending herself. And that scope can reach out a while or pretty far. What do you think that father would have done? I could tell you what this father would have done. So he does not understand. So I'm not going to say he doesn't, but he has to realize him and his daughter could have been in that situation, because Rosenbaum was targeting Black people, see, with the N-word. He even called Kyle the N-word. Now, this father could have been the one on trial, or his daughter. He would have wanted people to understand what was going on. And if the riots weren't bad, why did him and his daughter have to defend a restaurant and two parking lots that they didn't own? Why? Because it was bad. Kenosha was bad. And it was all fueled by the liberal news media. They shot an unarmed Black man when even Jacob Blake admitted, yeah, I was armed. They killed him. Jacob Blake is not dead. Jacob Blake said, yeah, I was going for my knife. I shouldn't have done this. He had some time to live in that hospital. Honestly, here's my thing, right? I wish the young man wasn't paralyzed, even though the horrible things he did, because with that kind of change, he could have really affected, and still might. I don't know that he can't. Just because he's in a wheelchair doesn't mean he can't do great things. And if he's really changed his mentality and wants to keep young people away from the lifestyle that he was living, it's a very valuable voice in any community. We need to stop this, the Black community, the white community. See, because that's what the liberal media has you doing. When you can see when something happens in one community or the other, it affects all communities. We are one big community. But the liberals don't want you to think that, see? Because they have a vested interest in dividing you. I was watching, well, I wasn't watching it. I saw it on YouTube because honestly, I can't watch it. It was ESPN. And it was one of their episodes where you have, I forget who it was, but you have the lady announcer and Jalen, some football player, a couple of football players, right? And she's like, I just wanted to let you guys know, there's two humongous Black men about my age range, right? Well, the one's younger than me. I'm old, because he's already retired. Dang, I'm old. But I just wanted you to provide a safe space for you to speak freely. What's happened to men? What's happened to men? You need a safe space? Did you see what came out after the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict? You should give Black employees the day off so they can deal with this. Deal with what? A legally armed white kid was being attacked by 3 career felons and defended himself. Why do I care? How does it affect me? How? If anything, should have given me a day off after Biden closed down the pipeline. He's getting ready to close down another one, even though he's pretending like he's not. And oil prices went through the roof. My family owns a couple of oil wells. Half my family works in the oil business. My brother's a trucker. He should have given me the day off for that. That was depressing. By the way, it sank my oil EFTs. Thank you, Joe Biden, piece of crap. Hope you're happy. Really pissed me off. I lost probably 50% of my investments in oil EFTs behind that move. But I don't look at it as a loss. It's down now, and I'm just going to invest more. When it goes back up, well, I'll just collect the earnings. And sometimes these things happen when you invest. Sorry, cat's acting up. But back to my original train of thought. He could have easily been in that situation, because you can bet if Rosenbaum had found them, 2 armed Black people, and one being a girl, knowing how he liked attacking and hurting kids, this father could have been the one in court. And if he was, I say the same thing I said about Rittenhouse, not guilty. He was defending his daughter. If his daughter was put in a situation to take the shot, I would say not guilty. She was defending her life. That's the part people aren't getting. Now, I wonder if this guy is coming at it from a different angle. Fledgling security company, and he just wants the publicity. So I kind of wonder about that. And I'm hoping that's what it is, and he's just not that blind. But you never know. I noticed he stayed politically neutral. Did you notice that? He's like, hey, we just have a job to do. That's it. And that tells me this is a business move, which is not a bad business move. So, but let me know your thoughts on that. To Don Knotts, I went and looked at that YouTube page. Boy, you talk about liberal hell, man. Wow. But I did leave a comment. We'll see what, go look at my comment. We'll see what comes of it. I haven't gotten anything back yet. If I don't get something back today, actually, I've been informed, probably won't be able to respond to him today. But if nothing else, I'll get back to him late Wednesday night. So, but like, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think. And let me know in the comments below, do you think there's a political swing to this, or do you think this is a business motive? Because I think it's a business motive. So surprised he didn't throw his phone number in there. Should have been wearing clothes with his phone number on there so more people could hire him for security. So, but like, subscribe, share, and as always, especially in these days and times, do what you got to do.